Hello, everyone. I'm Dean. I'm the dad.
I'm Laura. I'm the mom.
And I'm Krysta, and I'm the daughter.
And together we are...
Family Plot!
See, that was better, y'all.
That was perfect. That was synced to the nines. Yes. Well, how is everybody today?
Well, we're here.
Here's good. Can't do the show without being here.
I'm a little concerned about the show today.
Why are you concerned about the show today?
You know, I don't want to have a Krysta episode. Like Krysta's episode that she had a few episodes back before I joined.
Sharon Kinney?
That'd be the episode.
Okay. I don't think that this episode is going to be quite like that.
As long as she's not a cheating...
Well, no, but here's the issue. So,
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Well, let's establish the ground rules.
Okay.
First of all, the name Debora Green, and that's who the show is about, is Debora Green. Her name is the only actual name that will appear in this podcast. This did happen recently enough that there are still survivors and countless more who were touched by the tragedy. And our goal is to entertain. Our goal is to inform. Our goal is never to offend. And so we are going to leave everybody who was not involved in the commission of the crime, which is everybody but Debora Green, out. We'll refer to them as the husband or a child or by a fake name in one case, but we will not use their actual names.
Right.
Now, I mean, if people really want to know, that stuff is all over and they can find it 1,000 different ways, but they're not going to find it out from us.
Yeah, no, we will not be put up for putting out names that people don't want us to, like, the people who survived or are touched by it out on our podcast or our information.
Right. Also, we will not go into detail about the deaths. There are plenty of podcasts that do that sort of thing. We ain't one of them.
Yeah, because
that's the part I definitely would have trouble talking about for sure. I just can't go there.
Yeah, no.
So, we'll keep things as bare bones in that regard as possible because it's really not important to the story that we're telling. So, with that out of the way, let's get to it. And as I said, our story this week is about a lady named Debora Green. Now, Debora's in jail, and in my opinion, that's where she deserves to be, but we'll tell the story, and at the end, you guys can tell me you agree or disagree.
Debora Green, if you disagree, tell us why. Because we would love to know.
Yep. Now, Debora Green was born Debora Jones. She's the daughter of Bob and Joan Jones. And she was born in Havana, Illinois. Illinois, I should say. Not Illinois.
I used to say Illinois like that all the time.
Now, she showed early intellectual promise. Reportedly, she taught herself to read and write before she was 3.
Before she was 3?
Before she was 3.
Woo!
She participated in a number of high school activities at the 2 high schools she attended and was a National Merit Scholar and co-valedictorian of her high school class. Those who knew her at the time said she fit right in and she was someone who was going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
After that, she attended the University of Illinois in the fall of 1969, where she majored in chemistry. She opted to attend medical school after graduating in 1972. She had originally wanted to be an engineer, but she had decided that the market was flooded with engineers. So she decided to go another route.
Right.
Now, she attended the University of Kansas School of Medicine from 1972 to her graduation in 1975. She chose emergency medicine as her initial specialty and undertook a residency in the Truman Medical Center emergency room after her graduation from medical school. Now, during that time, she dated and later married a gentleman by the name of Dwayne Green. They married while she was studying at the University of Kansas. They lived together in Independence, Missouri, while she finished her residency.
Yep, they did.
How do you know that?
Okay, so let's just back up for a minute. So I've lived in Independence the majority of my life. This time frame you're talking about is basically my childhood. During part of the time that this woman worked at Truman Medical Center, my mother was working as a nurse in that hospital. So this is very close to home for me.
I did not know that. I would have asked you questions.
She probably wouldn't know much.
Maybe not, but... Now, by 1978, they separated and then eventually divorced. She cited that Deborah said basically they were incompatible as the reason for the divorce, claimed they had no common interests, but that the divorce itself was friendly. Now, during that period, while they were separated, she met her future husband, a student in his 20s. He was completing his final year of medical school. He loved her intelligence and vitality, but he was embarrassed by her habit of explosively losing her temper at minor slights. Mm-hmm. In contrast, Green felt that the new man was a stable, dependable presence, and they were married on May 26, 1979. Now, shortly thereafter, they moved to Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, I don't know anybody in Cincinnati.
Good. They moved there because he had been accepted for an internal medicine residency at the University of Cincinnati. She went into practice at Jewish Hospital in Cincinnati as an emergency physician. She became very unhappy there, so she switched specialties and began a second residency in internal medicine, which meant she joined her new husband's program.
I see.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, let's leave that there, and then let's talk to Krysta.
Oh, hi.
Because I think it's time for some weird facts.
Yay!
It is time for some weird facts. Let's do this thing.
Let's do this thing!
Krysta. Facts.
No.
Take it away.
Okay. So today's facts are about thermal poison. Poison! Now, this is all different types of poison, so...
That's fine.
I got information that's what y'all need.
Yes, information is a good thing.
Information is always a good thing.
I got this information, again, at Popular Science by Mac Irvin? I don't know if I said that wrong or right. If you are listening, Mac, please.
Correct me.
Correct me. Okay. Number 1. Poison dart frogs aren't actually toxic. Now, they are toxic. Let me rephrase this. But they aren't toxic when first born.
I see.
They have to eat food, like insects. The insects they eat make them toxic.
I see.
Nice.
Number 2. Cyanide is probably in your food.
Not nice.
That's not a very comforting thought.
It says...
Really dulls down my excitement for having those tacos this evening. I'm just saying.
Or a cyanide, it is either that or a cyanide-producing compound that leads to that.
I see.
Gotcha.
Number 3. Eating nicotine can be good for you.
Okay.
The tobacco plant isn't the only source of nicotine. In fact, the defensive poison is found in many plants, including some vegetables, such as tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, and cauliflower.
Who knew?
I did. Tobacco is awesome!
Don't ever say that again.
Tobacco.
It's from a Simpsons episode.
Oh, Lord.
Homer somehow combines tomatoes and tobacco into tobacco, which becomes this huge, overarching plant. Sells. Now, I don't remember how the episode ends or anything. I just remember tobacco, mostly because I had a video game when I was a lot younger, and one of the things you would run across are billboards, and some of them said, "Eat tobacco!"
I see.
So, Mom, did you put tomatoes into tonight's dinner?
There's tomato sauce. There are also fresh tomatoes, yes. So, we're just batting 1,000 here.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, tomatoes are related to deadly nightshade.
Well, there you go.
There's...
I'm trying to kill you.
Well, I'm just saying that's why people have tomato allergies, is because they're more sensitive to the...
Tomatoes also a fruit, so there's a lot of things people didn't know about tomatoes.
But yeah, some people have allergies to tomatoes because they're very sensitive to the deadly nightshade, and tomatoes are pretty close. Like, the plant, the fruit of the tomato plant is one thing, but you can't eat the leaves. Those are really bad.
Yeah, no. Okay, number 5. Let's get this done and over with, because y'all don't want to hear my voice. You want to hear this Debora Green thing. No, that was a joke. I know some people love me. Hi, Paige. Okay, number 5.
We love you too. Not just Paige. Sorry, Paige.
Sorry, Paige. Okay. Number 5. You can build immunity to some poisons. So, like...
Especially iocane powder.
If you don't quit referencing The Princess Bride, we're gonna have to pay somebody royalties. I mean it.
I don't think we have the type of money.
I'm sorry. Number 5, what? You can build up immunities to poison.
Yes, some pieces of poison. Protein toxins are produced by venomous snakes. And some poisonous plants can be incredibly lethal, but small and properly administered doses of these lethal toxins can activate an immune reaction.
Well,
that was fascinating.
It was very fascinating. Thank you, Krysta.
Thank you, Krysta.
We really appreciate you sharing those facts with us today.
Mm-hmm. You guys can also go look at this on the website, or you can just, search it up. It's the first thing that pops up. It's not normally the first thing that pops up. It's normally like the 50th, but...
Well, speaking of where we get things, I should say that most of the information that I got today comes from a book by a lady named Anne Rule called Bitter Harvest. And there's actually a follow-up line to it, but I can't remember it right now. But I do credit it at the end as well. But yeah, most of it comes from that. Because I started looking at Wikipedia like I always do, and that was one of the first references that they listed. And that's what I tend to do, is I'll go to Wikipedia first, and then I'll start going through the references and start there. Because I feel like if I hit the references and not Wikipedia, I'm getting more accurate information, generally. Now, I've come to find out that a lot of what I found on Wikipedia is kind of accurate. So, it surprises me because I've always assumed Wikipedia, because the general public can access it, was shot with errors.
Yeah, that's what we get for assuming, I guess.
I mean, that's what teachers get for assuming actually... Oh, sorry.
So, where were we? Oh, yes. She began her residency in her husband's program. Now, it was during this time she began to suffer from a number of medical issues.